Hello guys, news update number 33. You would have already seen drone attack in Jammu region actually. This is like two blasts happened. Drones came in and whether Pakistan is involved, that investigation is going on. So we'll discuss the detailing and this is an IED blast. So what is IED and why our radars could not detect it and what is the radar technologies and drone technology we have. That kind of things we'll discuss at the end of this video. So, in a first, drones used to drop explosives on Jammu Air Base. Two explosions within a gap of 6 minutes rocked the technical area of Jammu Airport in the early hours of Sunday. It is suspected to be the first drone attack on any defense establishment in India. Okay, so this is the first such incident on a defense establishment, so that is why it is taken seriously and investigation is going on. So the Jammu map, like, the union territories, like this section will be Jammu, and here this point, okay, which is very near to the border. If you see international border, this is where this thing has happened, and it is suspected that low-flying drones were used to drop two improvised explosive devices, IED, which I'll explain in the later part of this video what it is. An IAF patrol team saw the ammunition being dropped. However, these drones were not detected by the radar. So that is also something of concern that our radars could not detect it. Okay, the Jammu airport in the city's Satwari area is a dual use facility under IAF control and is also used to operate passenger flights. Okay, so there the helicopters and the MiG planes and all these things are also there, and passenger flights is also operated. So it's a very sensitive area. Okay, luckily it did not come that much deep into the place where the people are there. So nobody has got injured and all, but this is a very sensitive issue. Okay, Jammu airport director have told that there was no disruption in flights. The flights to and fro the Jammu airport are operating as per schedule. Okay, so this, if you see, two bombs which came. Okay, the first blast ripped off the roof of the building at 1:37 a.m., while the second one was at an open ground 1:43 a.m. Okay, which is around, I think, 1 kilometer away, and it is little bit intense because the sound. Okay, the sound of this thing was audible in radius of around 2 kilometers. Okay, you can see the pictures. More pictures are there on the internet. You can go and check that. So confirming these incidents, the Air Force also have tweeted. Okay, see here, the two low intensity explosions were reported early Sunday morning in the technical area of Jammu Air Force Station. One caused minor damage to the roof of a building while the other exploded in an open area. Okay, and here there was no damage to any equipment. Investigation is in progress along with civil agencies. Okay, the ceiling and window panes have been damaged due to the blast. Two Air Force men, okay, this Arvind Singh and one SK Singh, they have suffered minor injuries as per the report we have got till now. Okay, and so there's nothing like casualties or death or nothing has happened, luckily. And even the defense ministry are tweeting about this, like we are taking care of the situation, and this bomb squad and every agency is being deployed there to investigate more, to find out details. Okay, so see here, these are the pictures of the drone which came in which the IED was fitted. So the Jammu police have registered already FIR cases under the UAPA Act, and the case is now being treated as a terror investigation. So NSG's bomb data team, NIA team, all these were called to the Air Force Station, and they are already there now, and they are working on it since early morning today. So UAPA Act is the one you can see on screen. Okay, Indian law which is against the integrity sovereignty of India. So against in that FIR cases are there, and terror investigation is going on now. So these IEDs were sent by the two drones which were fitted with GPS. Okay, so the exact target location, everything was fed into that, and it will come directly and hit the location. Okay, luckily, as I told, the equipments and people were not affected, but it came and hit the correct Air Force Station. Okay, so the sources say that the attack was serious as both countries don't attack sensitive installation. Okay, usually that is the protocol which we follow. Unless it is war, the location sensitive establishments are not attacked. Okay, like this border crossing and terrorists coming inside, or this LOC crossing, this and all happens all the time. But going and attacking a sensitive establishment, okay, that is wrong, and it is wrong as per the protocol. So that is why investigation is going on. And the same day, two people were arrested. Okay, out of which one is an Lashkar terrorist. He had 4.7 kilogram of this IED blast materials with him. But as they are telling, like these two incidents may not be interconnected. Okay, but this is happening like all together in this corona time also, when world is entirely fighting against the disease. This country will, what to say, never stop these kind of things. Okay, it is happening repeatedly. I can show you series of events which happened in the last 1.5 years, and this is how the IEDs will look like. Okay, it is a homemade kind of bomb, and it is the oldest kind of technique or weapons used by terrorists. Okay, IED is a type of unconventional explosive device or weapon that can take any form and can be activated in a variety of ways. They are among the world's oldest type of weapons. Okay, so it can have, it's about what it is inside that thing. Okay, it can have like chemicals or radioactivity things, biological things, or heat, which like out of let's say when you touch it, it will blast. When it is heat sensitive, it will blast. It can be any form. Okay, so it's very very like easy to make for them also, and that is what is being found over the last 2 years in Indian borders. So IED has five components, which is the switch, initiator, that's the fuse, then the container, the body, okay, then the explosive itself, and the battery power. So this is the basic components of IED, okay, and it's like found across the world since longest time. As I told, it's the world's oldest type of weapons. But in the last few years, through drones, it is coming in. Okay, instead of they sending people now, they are sending drones. Okay, so this kind of vehicle blast, car bomb, these kind of things also you would have seen. So IEDs are triggered by various methods, including remote control, infrared, magnetic triggers, pressure sensitive, wires, anything it can be. Okay, and multiple these things can be connected together. Okay, this Desi chain attack, like this, like a chain, so that a series of blast will happen. Okay, that also you would have seen in English movies and all. Lot of such scenes are shown. Okay, so vehicle borne IED, okay, which is called VB-IED, meaning inside the vehicle or on an animal they fit these things and bring. So that is called VB-IED. Okay, and NATO, which is you should know, okay, North Atlantic Treaty Organization, that body, they have developed a counter IED action plan in 2010 itself, focusing on this thing only. Okay, so that we can stop these kind of things to happen. And now if you see the destruction of vehicle itself, and then the vehicle fuel inside that will be now triggering the blast even bigger. Okay, so that is how they use the vehicle. Okay, the bomb will blast, and also the vehicle fuel will add as an add-on, will again cause more explosion. Okay, and if a person himself is sitting inside that vehicle, then it will be a suicide thing. So that is called SVBID. So I'm just telling you technical terms. Okay, IED, VBIED, and SVBID, which is there like in the newspapers you will see in the coming days. Okay, now is Pakistan involved? This is what the investigation is going on. Okay, so Pathankot attack in 2016, you would have remembering that time also they were like they brought in certain things through drones. Okay, so it's not like Pakistan is not aware of this technology or they are not used this against India. So it is possible that Pakistan is involved, and obviously Pakistan is the only enemy we have at that side. So it should be through their people only. Okay, so the location also I told 14 km away only. Last time when they did, they could have brought it near 12 kilometers. So 14 km also it's possible for them. Okay, to bring in bombs and weapons through drone. Okay, the drone seemed to have been used to drop this IED. This was not on the periphery but near the helipad area. The possible target of the attack was the aircraft parked in the dispersed area. So they are concluding that maybe the planes and all helicopters parked there, maybe that would have been their target. Okay, 2016, this 4 to 6 terrorists suspected to be of this Jaish-e-Mohammed had launched suicide attack on the Pathankot. Already movies and web series and all have come. You would have seen these kind of scenes already, like what happened, and 36 hours to 48 hours, our people had to fight, and we also had lost 2-3 people, okay, in that thing. So maybe is it a repetition of Pathankot, because it's again an Air Force station being attacked at Jammu. So that is what after the investigation we'll come to know. Okay, and in the past 2 years also Pakistan has been using drones, okay, to drop weapons across the border. So these are examples. August 2019 in Punjab, a crashed drone was found. In September 2019 again drugs and weapons were dropped in Punjab, okay, using drones. Then 2020 BSF shot down a suspected spy drone, okay, in Katwa in Jammu. And September 2020, the police found weapons dropped from drones in a village in Aknoor in Jammu. Okay, so these locations are all important for UPSC students or any other competitive exam students, but others try to see the level of attacks happening. Okay, they are going on doing this. Earlier this month also, IED weapons were detected. Around 10 kg of explosive devices were got again in Jammu region. Okay, this Chandpara region. So this is the series of things. Again, full list is there, which you can pause and see. I'm not reading out. These are all the things which are recovered from different areas in the India-Pakistan border. Okay, so you can pause this and read. And now what is India doing? Whether do we have anti-drone technology? What is the radar system? This is the final conclusion part of this video. So in Bangalore, this thing happened, this Aero day, okay, where we will be doing display of all our technological things which is related to Air Force and these things. So it happens I think every 2 years. So 2017 onwards, 17, 19, 21 and all, we have been pointing out to this thing, okay, sharpshooters and radars to prevent drone attacks. So it's not like we are not doing anything, but it is taking time to finally come into action. Okay, so drones is the new thing, and people, like, it's like freely available. Even you can buy drones in Amazon or Flipkart. Drones are available, but it's up to you how you use it. So this anti-drone technology, okay, the detection of drones, it's a very, very complicated task. Today companies around the world have defined the 3 most common means of detection. Okay, that is RF, frequency based RF monitoring, then radar based, and also optical sensors, camera based. Okay, so each method has its own limitation. That is the problem. Okay, the main limitation of this RF monitoring, frequency based, is that if it's through a satellite operated one, one, or if it's a pre-programmed one, it's not always detected. Okay, this RF monitoring has its own limitation or inability to detect those kind of drones. And when it's radar, there is a range issue, there is a coverage issue, or sometimes false alarm will be there. In Israel also, this Iron Dome they have, whenever some missile comes and all, radar system, they will detect it, or maybe sometimes false alarm also will go off. Like, people will think like something is coming to them, but nothing might be there. False alarm is there, and cost is involved in maintaining them. So that is the problems with that. Okay, once a drone is detected by radar, prior to countermeasures, there must be verification and classification of the drone, which requires optical sensors. Okay, like you should know whether, like, what kind of drone is it, whether it's our local one, whether it's a toy kind of thing, or it's a real one with coming from the opposite side. So you need to verify it. So that also requires cameras to be fitted into it. Okay, and again, that cameras will have limitations of the short range. Okay, we have thermal cameras which have longer range, but that will be very, very expensive also. So like that, there are limitations for all the anti-drone technologies which is available at present. Okay, like this, now shooting it down, that is what Israel people have developed, and that is what we are procuring also. I'll show you at the last slide of this video. So sources in the security establishment said that they are closely looking at anti-drone technology, which must include different levels of soft kill and hard kill. Okay, the variation is usually diverse, but combination of strength is imperative. At the basic level, the soft kill involves detection and monitoring, particularly a technology that generates UAV data like speed, distance, and time. Meaning soft kill means you are finding out, okay, some drone is coming, this is the speed, this is the distance, this is the time. So that is called soft kill. Okay, and if it's advanced level of soft kill, meaning you are taking control of that drone also, meaning you not only see it, spot it, you just take the control also from the whoever is controlling it. Okay, so that is the advanced stage of soft kill. An interruption of the signal between the drone and the controller, and co-opting the aircraft effectively, intercepting and stealing the UAV while aloft is imperative in this tech method. Meaning you are, as I told, cutting off the control of the original person who is controlling it. Okay, now hard kill, you will know it's like neutralizing or destroying that thing itself, the projectile or whatever is coming in, you will destroy that. That is called hard kill. Okay, and advanced level, it involves countering lasers, magnetic, meaning a laser fire or magnetic fire, something you will be doing to completely destroy it. So that is the soft kill and hard kill concept. Okay, this is very, very important for UPSC students. And to conclude, Indian Navy actually finalized procurement of anti-drone systems. Okay, from Israel, we are buying that, so we can shoot it down. They'll have guns like this, which has some technology, like in one shot, it will be detected, locked, and destroyed. So the name of that thing is Smash 2000 and Smash 2000 Plus. Okay, these are the features of it. You can see this, like see-through optics, target detection, lock and track. So it is the two things, and India has already ordered for this, and India will be procuring it. So once we have this, then we will be doing things. So this is what, like, army, everybody are working towards this. But when such kind of things happen, people started posting like in WhatsApp and Facebook, like even our drones is not detected by radars. India don't have any good technology. You should know what is happening in real. By just seeing one news item, you should not start posting this kind of nonsensical thing. Okay, you are sitting at the comfort of your home. You should not post against Indian Army and these kind of people, okay, who are serving the nation. And these are live updates, okay, 4 p.m. Okay, just before this video, you can go and Google live updates about Jammu issue. You will get live tweets like this. Okay, so go and see what is happening. Hopefully by tomorrow a detailed report will come. Okay, so like this is the maximum coverage I could do as of now, as I told, 4 o'clock. And please subscribe to the channel. I'll come up with more updates. Thank you and have a nice day.